Good morning, everyone. Myself is Gayatri, and today I'm going to present a case study about schizophrenia, one of the most complex and misunderstood psychological disorder. To better understand this disorder, I'll be focusing on a real life case, the story of John Forbes Nash, a Nobel Prize winning mathematician who lived with schizophrenia for most of his adult life. Schizophrenia is one of the chronic brain disorders that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. It causes a range of symptoms that are typically divided into positive, negative, and cognitive categories. Positive symptoms include hallucinations and delusions. Negative symptoms involve social withdrawals and emotional flatness, while cognitive symptoms affect concentration and memory. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), schizophrenia affects about 24 million people worldwide. It's a condition that often begins in late adolescence or early adulthood, and without proper treatment, it can severely affect a person's ability to function. So now let me introduce the person at the center of this case study, Mr. John Nash. He was born in 1928 and became a mathematician genius, especially known for his work in game theory. His life and struggles were lately portrayed in the Academy Award-winning film A Beautiful Mind. But behind the achievements was a man battling a severe mental illness, paranoid schizophrenia. In his early 30s, Nash began to show classic signs of schizophrenia. He experienced paranoid delusions, believing he was part of a secret government mission. He also had auditory hallucinations where he heard voices giving him instructions or warnings. He became extremely paranoid, thinking foreign agents were watching him. Over time, Nash began to isolate himself and even abandoned his academic career. He showed disorganized thinking, which made it difficult for him to engage in conversations or maintain focus. These symptoms not only damaged his career but also put a strain on his relationship, especially with his wives and colleagues. Eventually, Nash was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. His treatment was included antipsychotic medications, which helped reduce the severity of his hallucination and delusions, multiple hospitalizations, especially during his most severe episodes, and most importantly, the emotional support of his wife Elisa, who played a major role in helping him cope. Interestingly, later in his life, Nash began rejecting medication. Instead, he developed a method of self awareness. He would recognize his hallucinations as unreal and choose to ignore them. This is not common, but for Nash, it seemed to work. Despite years of struggling, Nash made an incredible comeback. In his 1990s, he returned to the academic world and regained respect in the mathematics community. In 1994, he was rewarded the Nobel Prize in Economics for his early work in on game theory. His story shows that people with schizophrenia are not defined by their disorder. With the right support and a bit of resilience, recovery is possible, even for some who once lost to his own mind. From John Nash's story, we learned several important lessons, which are: mental illness doesn't mean the end of a person's potential. Support system, especially family and friends, play a crucial role in recovery. Stigma around mental illness need to be broken. People suffering from psychological disorder deserve compassion and understanding. And lastly, every case is different. Treatment is not one size fits all, and people respond in various ways. So, personally, researching this case has helped me change the way I view mental health. I used to think schizophrenia was a hopeless condition, but Nash's story taught me that with the right care, even someone facing extreme challenges can still succeed in his life, in his or her life. It also reminded me that mental illness can happen to anyone, even to a genius. So for me, it's a very common thing. To conclude, schizophrenia is a serious but manageable disorder. John Nash's life story shows us the possibility to recover and the importance of support and determination. We as a society need to continue learning, supporting, and treating mental health just as seriously as physical health. Thank you for listening. Bye. Again. Bye. Thank you for listening.